To make switching to the new Boost Mobile risk-free, we're offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
So why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Because you have nothing to lose. Boost Mobile is offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
No, I asked why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Oh.
Wouldn't.
Because you love wasting money as a way to punish yourself because your mother never showed you enough love as a child?
Whoa. Easy there.
Yeah.
Applies to online activations. Requires port in and auto pay. Customers activating in stores may be charged non-refundable activation fees.
State Farm and DJ Dramos from Life as a Gringo know making smarter financial moves today secures your financial freedom for a successful tomorrow.
Now we have a level of privilege that our parents never had. So what do we do with it, right? How do we utilize the opportunities that we have that they don't, right? And a lot of that is educating ourselves on how to not make the same mistakes they did.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. State Farm, proud sponsor of My Cultura Podcast Network.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Surviving Sister Wives contains adult content that may not be suitable for Latter-day Saints or sinners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Sister Wives, the podcast where a monogamous couple drink heavily while recapping Sister Wives on TLC.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and this is Season 14, Episode 9. This land is your land, or hers?
Or hers.
Question mark?
Maybe more question mark episodes. A lot of questions. Mysteries abound at TLC this season. So the TLC episode description is as follows for this one. Robyn, Meri, and Kody have a huge fight over who will get which piece of land. Janelle worries the whole family won't get access to the pond. Tempers flare, and everyone is lashing out at everyone else in the worst fight the family has ever had.
Very dramatic.
Oh, so much drama. This is next level shit right here. Let me tell you.
Finally, something exciting.
Finally, something happened this season that's worth talking about.
And a description with no mention of the Biggie Housey.
Oh my God. I thought we would
Finally.
Never reach the day.
Took us 9 episodes to get here, but here we are.
Thank God. Lay it to rest. Throw it in the cemetery out back at Coyote Pass.
No Biggie Housey. No one's moving in this description.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine, and I don't know an episode of Sister Wives without a move or without Biggie Housey. So this is going to be, this was new territory for me, and I was ready for it. Let's hear your episode description, though, because I feel like it's going to be a little bit more accurate even than what the professionals at TLC came up with.
I mean, it was a little hard to outdo this description.
I highly doubt it. I want to hear yours.
A family picnic on plague-infested soil goes terribly wrong. Meri ponders the age-old question, to be in the trees or not to be in the trees? Robyn martyrs herself on Coyote Pass. Kody makes some big assumptions.
ASS assumptions?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And Christine tells all of us, I told you so. So we start off with the family going out to Coyote Pass once again, and Kody has planned a picnic.
It's a pizza party.
It's a pizza party, and we are going to eat on top of a blanket on that dirty, plague-infested soil at Coyote Pass.
There's also a couple of loose tree stumps laying around and some fallen brush.
No.
To set the stage here for them.
That blanket sheet, whatever it was they were sitting on, was, to me, not enough to protect me from the elements that are out there.
You need a hard tarp. You need
some disinfectant spray. So they're out there having a picnic, and of course we get back on the topic of moving. Everyone's favorite thing to discuss in this family.
It's pretty much all they know how to talk about.
And Robyn's talking about how they haven't found a rental yet for her. And they're getting to the point now where Kody is seriously considering buying instead of renting, since there's nothing available.
Because that is Kody's default move.
Just buy a house.
Just buy
Just another mortgage. It's fine.
Bring it on. And then Meri...
Ever the Eeyore of the party.
Meri gets the boot, too.
Meri has to tell everybody that she has a special announcement, a surprise. She's going to spring it on everyone right now while everyone's enjoying their time at Coyote Pass.
It's not as fun, though. Yeah.
No. It was kind of anticlimactic. She tells everyone it's rough out there getting rentals because I got to move in 6 weeks.
I know that game.
It was the weirdest conversation because she was trying to like sprinkle in these little comments here and there while Robyn was telling her story, where it was like right away she had to go to being the victim again, where she wanted attention for like, oh man, I'm going through the same thing you're going through.
And she had to like ratchet up the stakes on it too, where she was like, no, yeah, I get that it's hard for you, Robyn, but you're not the only one dealing with this too.
Exactly.
Because I'm totally going through this as well.
Right. That's exactly what the point she was trying to make. So she announces the fact that she has to move too. Everybody pretends to be shocked. It seems like Kody already knows this because then they start to talk about, again, how Kody has considered or talked to Meri also about buying a house. And she's not on board with that idea either.
Right.
So right now, Meri and Robyn are just in search of a rental. So like they're kind of competing with one another.
Yeah, honestly. Right? Obviously, what we find out
when
later on...
When the inventory's that low?
When we find out later on in the episode is apparently the rental market in Flagstaff is not good. There are only short-term rentals, and there's not a lot available.
Again, so that's why it was so important to sell all the houses in Vegas, move someplace where it's incredibly difficult to find available housing that works for their situation, and put off building on their property as long as possible.
Yeah, pretty much.
Makes sense.
We're nomads now. I'm telling you, every episode, the RV is sounding better and better.
I want to see Janelle treks across America in her RV.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe Christine goes too.
Yeah, they can hit like national parks.
They
and
go
just
on
do,
like a sister
walk.
wives road trip.
Yeah, they could do like little walking tours.
Yeah.
On national parks along the way.
And they can cap it off with their own national park.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
The Brown Family National Park Association.
So now the conversation segues because Kody makes a joke about, they're starting to think about looking out at the land and again, where they're going to build all the houses. And Janelle mentions that this is where she would build a house if she could.
Right where they're sitting.
Right.
They're eating. They're eating in her breakfast nook right now.
Right where they happen to be sitting. So now the conversation gets awkward because everyone kind of starts looking out and explaining where it is that they want to build their house. Janelle talks about the spot that they're in is where she wants to build. Christine shows where she wants to build. And Robyn says to Meri, where are you going to go? Like, where are you thinking of going? Which is what kicks this entire thing off. So ever the victim, Meri says, Kody told me where you guys were all going and said that I was going to be back there, and points at the trees.
Right.
So right away, she's positioning it like, I didn't get a choice. I got told where I had to go. You guys all picked. I didn't get to pick.
Word on the street is, I didn't have a choice. Thanks a bunch for asking and bringing that up and reminding me too. But yeah, I'm over there in the trees, cabin in the woods.
Now, right away, Janelle remembers what Meri said about how she didn't want to be in the trees. Remember? That was one episode ago.
That was a flashback.
Somehow, you know.
One episode ago, but also 6 weeks ago in the flashback that took place. So yeah, 1 week of that, but I guess when you're filming and you're a year behind in footage, then yeah, you can jump ahead 6 weeks when something interesting actually happens. That's fine. That works out.
So 6 weeks may have passed, but Janelle remembers that conversation verbatim.
Well, yeah.
So Meri then says, well, she didn't know. That's what she said about the trees. She didn't know about the trees. It's not like she was passing on them or she didn't like it.
That is what was shown in the flashback, is Kody says, and Meri, you'll probably be over there in the trees. And she just goes, I don't know.
I don't know about the trees.
I don't know. And
my
shrugs.
rental's really dark.
I don't know.
Because of the trees. I don't know if I want to be in the trees.
But you got to think, sometime between that conversation, between the 6 weeks of what was actually filmed to the pizza party that we're watching take place right now, they had to have gone back to the land and walked around, which Kody does mention that he does walk around the land with each wife individually at their own specific times to kind of talk through the different scenarios with them.
Which is that she didn't get a choice.
She doesn't, yeah, she doesn't know how she feels about that plot.
So the thing that kind of also incites the fight here is that Meri learns that Kody has since given that plot to Robyn. Robyn is now going to be in the trees, and Meri is going to be moved up towards the road in the spot that Robyn was going to be in.
House number 4.
House number 4. So she's switching from house number 3 in the trees to house number 4 by the road. This sets Meri off.
As one would expect it to, yes.
So it ratchets up another level because Robyn makes a joke. So should we flip for it? So now instead of Robyn saying, hey, whoa, if you want it, that's okay. This isn't set in stone. You can have it back.
If you had that, first, dibs.
Right, dibs. So she makes a joke. Like she's not going to be willing to give it up initially.
Right. Half joking, half serious.
Right, but it was enough to set Meri off, even though it was a joke.
But you're poking the bear here. You're poking the mare bear.
And everybody knows what happens when this bear gets poked.
Oh, no.
She comes out of fighting.
Yeah. She goes grizzly. She doesn't even go grizzly. She goes polar. She goes polar bear on him.
So now Meri comes back with, well, maybe I'll just move to Parowan then.
At her mare B&B.
Her mare B&B. And she laughs. She giggles about it. Robyn does not find this funny.
No. There's some things you don't joke about.
And that is one of them.
And leaving a toxic situation for your own sanity is one of them. Yeah, don't joke about that. So at this point, the conversation is kind of heating up between Meri and Robyn more so. Janelle and Christine, not really actively engaged in it. Kody hasn't really interjected too much either. And his response is basically, hey, let's go over there, up the hill here, get a better vantage point, and then kind of talk about the land a little bit more. So let's move locations here. Let's pack up everything. The beauty of this scenario, though, is that they're getting so fired up about this situation, they are still bickering with each other the entire way over to the hill.
As they're starting to hike up the hill, so this is where it starts, where Janelle and Robyn are talking to each other as they're walking up. They're following behind everyone else. But Meri's right in front of them, so she can hear what they're saying. And she must be trying to hear what they're saying because she interjects in the conversation. But what's happening is Robyn says to Janelle that Kody told her that the tree lot was what was left, and that's where she was going to be put. So what's left is what makes Meri upset.
Right.
And she butts in to their conversation and the sparks start to fly.
Yeah.
So she corrects Robyn and tells her that was not at all the conversation, Robyn. Which I don't know how she seems to know the conversation that Robyn had with Kody.
Right.
But she tells Robyn that that's not correct. And she clearly picked up on the fact that Robyn's making it sound like she wasn't getting an option and that she was just getting what's left over. Like she lost what she wanted to Meri, or, she wasn't getting a choice. But that's exactly how Meri feels about the situation. So it's a battle of the bigger victim at this point.
And it amazes me that Kody is able to formulate a situation where he has 4 wives, manages to make those 2 wives the most sensitive to the power struggle scenario. So he's telling 2 wives that they each had first pick, while they are both saying that they had last pick. So however that was conveyed, communicated, executed, was not received correctly.
Kody is a terrible communicator, and he also cannot remember what he says to any one of them.
Oh, man.
Which is what just makes it worse, because that infuriates them.
Yes.
So, speaking of, Kody is getting irritated, and he's also confused at this point. Because he thought that moving Meri from house 3 in the woods to house 4 up by the road was the best solution, because on that lot, it's possible for Meri to build either in the trees if she wants to, if she ends up deciding that's what she wants to do, or further towards the right of the lot, away from the trees, so that she has sunlight that she's been begging for.
So he thinks that he's solved the problem. However, Meri kind of mentions in a couple different points, she's not sure if she wants to be that close to the road. So I can understand that she's still not 100% on board with that lot. However, it is very confusing when it seems like it was received so negatively of the house in the woods to poo-poo and then be moved and then still poo-poo.
Right, which plays into something that Kody says later.
Correct.
But at this point now, he says in front of all the wives that someone else said that they wanted the trees. since Meri didn't seem into it. Now again, confusing, because now Robyn is starting to get angry at him because
he's speaking for her.
But also she claims, at least that's what she's saying on camera, she didn't say that she wanted it. She got told that that's where she was going.
Right.
So he's making it seem like someone else decided that they wanted to go there, but she didn't actually make that decision. She just got told she was going there.
Yeah. Kody confuses his own decision-making with the intentions of others, and he just automatically assumes and works off his own assumptions that he's 100% correct all the time. So that has been made abundantly clear time and time again, and that's what we're seeing here yet again.
So now Robyn's getting really frustrated because, I mean, it's really hard to follow this fight when you're Robyn. And she's trying to defend herself because now it's looking to Meri like Robyn took something out from under her that she wanted. So she's yelling, no, you told me that's what was left. She's explaining the situation. She explains kind of in her side interview that the conversation she had with Kody and that he asked her to settle for the trees. Could you do it? Could you go here? Because this is what's left.
Right.
So she agreed, fine, I'll take this lot then.
So then she got her heart set on Cabin in the Woods, which now basically Meri is coming back and then trying to reclaim again from out from under her. So then they're both feeling like they've had this lot given to them and taketh away.
Right. Meri is acting like a child who had a toy and then decided they were over it, tossed it to the side, and another kid came up to play with it, so now she wants it back.
Mine.
That is exactly what's going on here. She is trying to assert her dominance over Robyn and the rest of the family.
It's a power move. We see a lot of power moves this episode. We'll talk about a couple other ones too.
Yep.
But
So
this is a good power move.
She's now decided that she wants to possess this land.
And the real kicker here too is Meri has made it clear. She verbally says directly to Robyn, I'm not mad at you, Robyn. To which Robyn is very confused because it really sounds like you're mad at me, Meri. And it's like, no, Meri is actually just redirecting her anger at Kody onto you, Robyn. That's what's happening. So you're feeling the anger, but the anger is actually sourced at Kody. It should be directed at Kody, but there's a lot of unhealthy dealing with aggression and being upset and then just kind of kicking the dog that is Robyn at this point.
So I'm going to go back to something that you said before about Robyn having her heart set on that piece of property.
It seems strange that she connected to it so quickly.
So I don't think that that's the case.
Really?
I think she really doesn't care where she ends up going.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, she said that it's such a beautiful
She says
plot.
that multiple times, how she doesn't care, yet she, for some reason, doesn't want to let go of this piece of land. Because she doesn't say to Meri, she reluctantly eventually says to Meri, fine, that she can have it and she'll just take whatever's left.
Yeah, because it wasn't like a whoops, oh my gosh, what a misunderstanding. That's so strange.
I think this ends up playing into something that we hear about later, which is the pond.
Yes, the pond.
Because if anybody recalls the schematic that we saw, the pond is on the tree lot.
Which was very confusing because I thought where the line is for the gas line easement, those lines look like the property lines that divide. So I thought that the Cabin in the Woods was a separate plot and that the pond drainage ditch was its own separate lot of land. But it seems like, yes, that is one continued Cabin in the Woods and the pond. That's all on one lot of land, and then the easement just cuts through it. So again, this is the other kicker on the entire episode. They have not had a surveyor come out to the land to actually draw lines to see where these lots are. All of these lots that they're arguing about are completely theoretical at this point and
as
not
usual,
confirmed.
We're fighting about something that's
not
real.
And it could very well not even be what they're talking about. They need a surveyor to actually come out and legally tell them, yes, these are the spots that you can build.
Right. And the other thing to remember is this was not one big piece of land. They bought 4 different pieces of land that are meant to be a subdivision. So this is not like you can just put a house wherever you want because you bought 4 pieces of land in your one family.
Right. Exactly.
So there's a lot of things to be figured out still. And but we're jumping right into it and we're just going to fight each other about it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There has been mention that I could possibly have this spot. So in theory now that is mine, and from my cold dead hands, you will have it.
So now it turns into a tit for tat between Robyn and Meri because like children, they're arguing and Meri's saying, it's fine, Robyn, you can have the trees. And then Robyn comes back with, no, Meri, it's fine. You can take them. I'll just take whatever's left.
Whatever's left. It's fine. I'll just take whatever's left, which you always know when someone says it's fine in the middle of a fight. It's not fine. Meri is stomping her foot like a horse in this. And the whole action, her aggression is taking physical form now. She's like rearing out the gate. She's ready to go. And Robyn's talking about being left with the scraps. She'll take whatever's left because we already know from the first episode this season. We got to update it. She gets scraps done. Hashtag we get scraps done. Meri's not impressed by Robyn coming back with, the victim response. What was me? Yeah, shocker. Meri doesn't like when somebody else plays the victim. Exactly. And so she's like, oh my God, Robyn, like seriously. And so this is kind of where they can't even stand to be near each other anymore. They're just continuing to bicker with each other while Christine and Janelle just stand off to the side, completely silent, where it's safe, where nobody's trying to take their lots. Yeah, silently staying out not offering their lot. Christine makes the lovely joke at one point. Amazing. Because she was throwing some shade. Oh, it was a little bitchy. It was obvious. But I mean, how ridiculous would it be to be in this scenario where then you have Meri and Robyn fighting over a lot, where Christine then goes, oh, maybe I should want that lot in the trees then too, if it's so desirable. Like, right. It seems like it must be the best place to go because you're fighting each other over it. So maybe I should throw my hat in the ring too. I think I want it now too. So that was great. But again, it is rapidly declining. The conversation is slowly devolving more and more into just bitter, shitty bitterness. Yep. So this is the point where Janelle laughs at Christine's joke. Yeah. She's the only one who laughs. Kody just walks away. Kody is sitting on a tree stump. He's like flinging sticks around and like swatting at brush. I don't know what he's doing. He's just trying to get his hair under control. He's frizzing out. He's fraying. Robyn realizes that like this isn't coming to a conclusion and it's definitely not going in her favor. So she decides that she's going to storm off, and she reminds everyone of the fact that, she was given what was left over, and it's a beautiful piece of property. So I'm good with any of it. It's a majestic mountain. Remember, we get to look at the mountain again. Yeah. And she just pieces out of there because I've got to go find a new rental. And then, not to be outdone, Meri goes, you know what? I got a fucking rental. I got to go look for it too. Peace out, bitches. And she peels out of there too. So then they're both tromping down this gully, the little hill, right, with the beautiful background of the mountain behind them, the mountainous view, the heaven, hell on earth, the blessing, is Coyote Pass, the blessing curse. So they're walking to the row of cars there, so they're right. Ready to get the hell out of here. We watch them both drive off into the distance, and then as soon as she was gone, Robyn is back. She barely circled around the property. She just waited for Meri to drive off. She saw in her rearview mirror that she left as well. And she comes back around to continue the conversation with Christine, Janelle, and Kody. She's like Candyman. Yeah, it was Kody, Christine, and Janelle just said her name a couple times and then she reappeared. She was like, what was that? Yeah. So she's back. And her reasoning, though? Oh, right. That she just couldn't leave things the way they were. I left in a huff and I started to drive away and then I just had to turn around because I needed answers. You needed answers? Either she came back to manipulate the situation or the producers called her and were like, one of you need to come back. And let's be real, there was no chance in hell that Meri was coming back. Meri's phone was off. Meri's phone was off. Meri was gone, bro. She ain't even in the same zip code now. She's gone, dude. So Kody is going off now. He has lost every bit of patience that he had, and he is angrier than we've ever seen him on this show. He's flying off the handle. I could not believe how many times he walked to his car saying he was done, turn around and then kept spewing he kept firing off stuff. He was like, no, you know what? I am still mad about this, and I'm going to tell you all the reasons. So he was like, yeah, rare form. I mean,
I'm glad he didn't drive off that angry.
No, yeah. Oh, my God.
But he's telling everyone now his personal business with Meri.
Very in-depth stuff about their marriage and the toxicity that lies beneath the surface there.
Which seems like, if there were sister wife rules, like, like Wedding Crashers, this is probably like rule number 1. You don't talk to your other wives about one of their sister wives and your relationship with them.
No excuses. Play like a champion.
But he's doing it. So he tells them all that this is what he's been putting up with for 30 years. And they all just witnessed it.
You get to see it firsthand.
Right. As if no one else has been abused by Meri. Ever.
It's like yeah. Raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by Meri. Everyone quietly raises their hand. Yeah, because Janelle and Christine lived in the same house with her. So for everybody who says that Christine is crazy for not wanting to live in one house, I think we have a pretty good understanding of why she doesn't want to live in one house with these people.
I think we just saw
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A, exactly.
Exhibit A.
This is why Christine wants her own space, her privacy, her autonomy, and does not want to be living with these crazy people screaming at each other and the tension and toxicity that they create.
I don't need that kind of negativity in my life.
No, Christine does not need that negativity in her life.
No.
That's why she wants her own house.
Hell yeah.
So kudos, Christine, for standing your ground, because we all see it now.
Oh, yeah. No more calling Christine out for doubling back on what she was talking about before previously.
No, because this is some fucked up shit.
Of course, you do not want to sign up for that.
Now, Kody does a dance for us, and he shows us the Meri dance.
I love the Meri dance.
He's on his left foot, he's on his right foot.
You put your left foot in, you put your right foot in. You got your left foot in, and then you
do the Meri pokey, and you turn it all around.
He's shaking it. He's
That's what it's all about.
He's got his moving denims on. There's no hole in the butt to shake that, but
So they're fighting still about this situation, and the wives are all uncomfortable about the fact that he's talking about his relationship with Meri. And Robyn starts arguing with him as if she's reading a script verbatim.
This is like Hallmark movie writing level too.
Oh yeah, that's what. If somebody wrote her this line where it's just in her head, it's because she watches a lot of Hallmark movies. Let's be real.
This would be, we got to write a...
Not even Lifetime. She's watching...
No, yeah, it's Hallmark.
Hallmark and not Christmas movies.
No.
Like a regular Saturday night non-holiday.
Just a random one that they were like, picked off the stack of interns' screenwriting scripts, and they were like, yep, this is one we're making today.
So she shouts at Kody and says... I had to write it down because it's so ridiculous. Meri is my sister wife, and I'll always try to work things out with her, even if it's not easy. And I was like, nobody talks like this in real life, especially in the middle of a fight.
No.
I don't know. Maybe this is how Mormon people who can't curse fight. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to fight without swearing. That's for sure.
So again, everyone's uncomfortable because Cody's like a madman. He just keeps like ripping at his hair. And like you said, doubling back to the car.
Yeah, storming to his car.
He's like putting half his body in the car, getting back out.
Opening the door, closing the door, hopping in, hopping out. And then he starts jumping on, left foot. No, right foot. No, left foot. Right foot. Which one is it?
And it's even weirder because the fight is primarily between Kody and Robyn at this point. And again, Christine and Janelle are like just there. Like they're present. They're like witnessing what's going on. But they're not really saying much.
Until Kody starts accusing people of not being honest, which then Christine takes that personally.
That upsets Christine because, well, first of all, how can you say they're not being honest? They didn't say anything. Like, they're trying not to get involved.
I think the problem is there's too much honesty going on right now. There's a little too much sharing going on right now,
exactly.
Kody.
And he wants them to back him up and say that Meri sucks.
So then he feels wounded because he feels like
nobody's taking his side.
They're circling the wagon, so to speak, from a sister wife standpoint. And he even takes that as personal insult on his aside interview where, well, I guess at least they're loyal. You know? It's like, what?
Such a baby.
So bitter.
I mean, look, the only thing I can say for them is Meri can suck real bad.
They all suck.
But they all, guys, all of them suck on some level. But so...
Oh, well, here's the thing.
Everybody
sucks. Nobody's perfect. Like, nobody. But in some instances here, everybody's being shitty on a very direct level or intentional level, causing harm to other people within their family. So that's where I'm saying that's where it's shitty.
So that's where I think the other wives are starting to draw the line.
Correct.
Like, he has now crossed a boundary where he's talking about Meri with so much animosity and giving them insight into what their personal relationship is like. And I think they don't want to be tainted by that, even though everybody on some level doesn't like Meri for their own personal reasons.
And you have an idea.
But nobody wants Kody to talk about them the way that he's talking about Meri in front of them.
That's it.
So, if you're just going to engage and start talking shit about one of the other sister wives when Kody's angry, then that would I would think that would just set a precedent where he can just do that whenever he's mad at any of the other ones.
Right.
And how toxic is that?
Yeah, that would be terrible, terrible.
So Kody, again, he reminds us that he's tired of Robyn getting the scraps.
She gets scraps done.
She's picking up all those scraps and she's turning them in to buy a $900,000 house in a few episodes. So,
yeah, she's got her buy 9 scraps, get 1 free card, and she's punching that all the way up to $900,000.
To make switching to the new Boost Mobile risk-free, we're offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
So why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Because you have nothing to lose. Boost Mobile is offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
No, I asked why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Oh.
Wouldn't.
Because you love wasting money as a way to punish yourself because your mother never showed you enough love as a child?
Whoa. Easy there.
Yeah.
Applies to online activations. Requires port in and auto pay. Customers activating in stores may be charged non-refundable activation fees.
State Farm knows making smarter financial moves today secures your financial freedom for a second tomorrow. On My Cultura Podcast Network, we believe this too by sharing money management tips that help you realize your dreams. Like on our show, Life as a Gringo with DJ Dramos.
Now we have a level of privilege that our parents never had. So what do we do with it, right? How do we utilize the opportunities that we have that they don't, right? And a lot of that is educating ourselves on how to not make the same mistakes they did, how to not fall into those same traps, and how to not, create the same difficult situations that many of us grew up in. Like I started the podcast earlier saying, for me, in my family, one of the biggest points of contention was finances. And I know as I gotten older, I made it a promise to myself to say, I don't want to relive that.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. State Farm, proud sponsor of My Cultura Podcast Network.
Hey there, it's Farnoosh Torabi, host of the So Money podcast. Imagine having a super smart and reliable virtual friend to help you guide your finances. Well, besides me. Enter Claude by Anthropic. With the power of AI, Claude can help streamline your financial tasks. From analyzing data and charts to generating code for investment models or budget trackers, Claude's advanced reasoning helps you tackle the toughest financial challenges. Take control of your financial future with the right tools. Visit Claude.ai today and start saving time and money.
Millions of people have lost weight with personalized plans from Noom. Like Evan, who can't stand salads and still lost 50 pounds.
Salads generally for most people are the easy button, right? For me, that wasn't an option. I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. But Noom worked for me.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom user compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.
Expand the way you work and think with Claude by Anthropic. Whether brainstorming solo or working with a team, Claude is AI built for you. It's perfect for analyzing images and graphs, generating code, processing multiple languages, and solving complex problems. Plus, Claude is incredibly secure, trustworthy, and reliable, so you can focus on what matters. Curious? Visit Claude.ai and see how Claude can elevate your work.
Now we cut to an interview with Janelle, which gives us the most insight in this entire episode into what this argument is really about. So in this interview, Janelle tells us about the house in Lehi. And what it was like living with Meri. Now, we've gotten small little stories about what it's like or what it was like to live with Meri. None of them sounded good. And this one tells us what extreme she took it to when they lived together.
Yeah, this was nuts.
We get another drawing on the screen of the house in Lehigh that we haven't seen in years.
Putting those graphic designers to work.
And Janelle is explaining where her apartment was. So she's basically on one side of the house. Meri's in the middle. Christine's on the complete opposite other end of the house and downstairs.
Lower, yeah,
remember,
lower level.
Christine was in the basement.
Bottom bitch, yep.
Where life was terrible. So Janelle's explaining that most of the kids lived in Christine's side of the house. So when all the kids wanted to spend time together, that's where they would go. And where Janelle dropped them off for daycare all day while she went to work.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. What's not a win-win is that the most efficient, convenient way to get from Janelle's apartment to Christine's would be to walk through Meri's apartment and go down the stairs to the basement. Meri refused to let this occur because she didn't want the kids trampling through her space. She didn't want the chaos. She didn't want the noise. She didn't want everything that comes with little kids walking through your space, things getting dirty.
I can understand it on a certain level, but that was why it would have made the most sense to have her downstairs in the separated part.
Like she would ever
But she would never do that. So that's where it's like, okay, we're accommodating on that level now.
That would be fine if there was another way to get to Christine's apartment from the interior of the house. Right. But there was not.
Nope.
So instead, Janelle had to pack all the kids up and walk them down the stairs, outside, over the other side of the property, up the stairs, back down another set of stairs, and into Christine's apartment.
It's insane.
I would have been like, fuck you.
Yeah, that's
There's
crazy.
No way. How ridiculous. She has kids. You're going to, put all the shoes and coats and jackets on kids so that they can walk across the property in the middle of freaking Utah in the winter to come out. Right.
So this is where we can see where Kody's frustration is coming from and where Janelle's concerns are coming from. Because, again, this was where we started to kind of speculate after a few days.
Things together now.
We got a whiff of something because we were like, why are we seeing this? Why are they showing us this now during this fight at this time?
We learn that the property with the trees has the pond on it. And Janelle is very concerned that if Meri has that piece of property, she is going to cut off access to the pond.
That's it in a nutshell.
Janelle is trying to advocate at this point for Robyn to keep that piece of land.
Mm-hmm.
And that they need to have some type of legal contract written up to grant access to the pond. The pond, again, guys, it's not a pond. It's a fucking drainage ditch.
Loosely termed.
But, the Browns have decided that this is
really important.
The best pond, the pond with the best water, the cleanest water.
We bought a pond.
They bought a pond. That's all.
That's all they wanted.
It just happened to be surrounded by some land, but they bought a pond.
That's what they got. So she is fully advocating for Robyn to hang on to this because that, again, with the order of operations that took place, Meri had a hold of that land by default because she liked trees. And so Kody thought that was the best fit for her. It was then relinquished by her and then given to Robyn. So now Robyn has claim on that. But also thinking back, there were other conversations that took place with Christine and Janelle and Kody separately about their lots of land. All of those concerns were probably shared amongst the family, amongst the wives, with Kody, about access to the pond. So that was why, as soon as Meri even gave a hint of disappointment for the tree lot, that
he scooped it up out from under her.
I'm reclaiming that, and it's going right to Robyn. So then that way we got the pond situation taken care of. That fixes it, and now we're done.
Mm-hmm.
But he forgot to clue Meri in on the whole process. So when he's just firing off decisions and making these things happen in a closed system, it doesn't line up for everybody on the same level of why these decisions are taking place. So then things are taken personally, and it's a whole mess.
Kody feels like the wives are taking their anger with Meri out on him.
Because he feels like they would rather fight with him
than with
Meri.
And he announces that he is done accommodating Meri. And then in his interview, he tells us, why try to make someone happy who won't be made happy?
Suck it up, Buttercup. This is what you get.
This is what you get.
So, and again, I don't like Kody personally. I
No
think
one
a lot
really
of us,
does.
a lot of us are on that same page. Don't really like Kody. However, I completely understand his stance here, where he's thinking now we keep accommodating for Meri in all these different scenarios. Why should we go out of our way and have other people sacrifice things? So if we're limiting other people's resources and access to shared spaces, i.e. the
Things
pond,
that they're excited about.
or things that they're excited about on the property, why would we be taking that away from other people to accommodate Meri, who as soon as we set her down somewhere, she's still going to be shitty about where she is. She's still going to be disappointed. She's still going to be upset. She's not going to be happy no matter where she is.
Yeah. This gets into a whole nother toxic and disturbing area of things, which is that if we're really going to figure out what's going on here, Meri is just unhappy. Yeah. She's unhappy with herself. She's unhappy with the way her life has turned out. She's unhappy in this family. Clearly, she doesn't feel like she's a part of it, or that she has the type of control or say and input that she did at first.
This is deep-rooted stuff, guys.
Right.
Deep.
There is some deep-rooted stuff, which is the reason behind why Meri is not happy no matter what.
Well, and she literally says she doesn't want to live in the trees. She doesn't want to be surrounded by darkness.
Yeah, right. But she is followed by a cloud of darkness on a daily basis.
Meri, that is a metaphor of your life.
Cloud.
Yeah, that is a metaphor for your life. That is, you are surrounded by darkness right now. Emotionally, figuratively, you are in the darkness, and that's a problem.
Now we move on to something happier, thank God. And we see Janelle and Christine are hanging out together. They're going for a walk.
Yes.
They've been spending more time together now that they're in Flagstaff.
It's nice.
Right. They have to make more intentional time together.
State Farm knows making smarter financial moves today secures your financial freedom for a second tomorrow. On My Cultura Podcast Network, we believe this too by sharing money management tips that help you realize your dreams. Like on our show, Life as a Gringo with DJ Dramos.
Now we have a level of privilege that our parents never had. So what do we do with it, right? How do we utilize the opportunities that we have that they don't, right? And a lot of that is educating ourselves on how to not make the same mistakes they did, how to not fall into those same traps, and how to not, create the same difficult situations that many of us grew up in. Like I started the podcast earlier saying, for me, in my family, one of the biggest points of contention was finances. And I know as I gotten older, I made it a promise to myself to say, I don't want to relive that.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. State Farm, proud sponsor of My Cultura Podcast Network.
Fall is here, and if you want to sleep in the coziest bed imaginable, you have to start with Boll & Branch's best-selling 100% organic cotton sheets. You'll spend every night wrapped in buttery, breathable softness, and you'll feel your sheets get even softer with every wash. Discover the difference with Boll & Branch's 30-night guarantee. Plus, for a limited time, get 20% off and free shipping on your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com with code BUTTERY. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Hey there. Looking to level up your shopping experience? Let me introduce you to Amazon Live. If you haven't heard, it's a shoppable video experience where influencers and creators showcase the latest must-haves all while you shop in real time. And for those who love some celeb gossip, reality stars like Kyle Richards, Lala Kent, and friend of the pod, Paige DeSorbo. On her new show, In Bed with Paige DeSorbo, Paige invites top-tier guests to cozy up in her fluffy bed where they spill secrets, share nighttime routines, and even whip up midnight snacks. Stream and shop new episodes of her series In Bed with Paige DeSorbo every Tuesday at 7 p.m. ET by going to amazon.com/live/Paige_DeSorbo. Or you can watch Amazon Live's new live TV channel on Freevee or Prime Video under the DIY section and shop along on your phone. This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Because of the fact that they're spread out.
The distance,
and
yep.
Christine tells us that she's always liked Janelle, that they've always had the easiest, or at least for her, the easiest relationship that she has with any of the sister wives.
Right. Well, and I don't think there's any threatening position for them, right? Because Janelle was wife number 2, Christine was wife number 3. There's not really that kind of built-in, trying to be the priority wife from either of them. I've never really picked up on that as a goal of theirs. So that's mostly a power struggle that happens between Meri and Robyn.
Right.
So yeah, it seems like they would stay out of their drama and they would kind of connect and agree on a lot of situations. It seems like a natural bond that kind of fell in together here.
So they're taking a break from their walk at this point to talk a little bit more about what happened with the fight yesterday.
Before it went to hell.
As Janelle says, before everything went to hell. So she brings up to Christine again what she mentioned at the end of the fight there about the pond and her concerns, and how she thinks it would be great if they can make it into a park, or they could somehow legally draw up a contract that allows for easements and guarantees a right for everybody, all of them on the land, to be able to access the pond as they please.
Guys, this is where the Lehigh stuff came into full swing, because if Janelle is so concerned about access to the pond, if Meri has the pond on her property, that she wants to legally write things up and have things contracted between them and access to a shared feature of the land, that's saying something.
She clearly thinks that Meri is going to not allow them on her property.
She's going to shut this down.
Like, Mary's going to be out there with an electric fence.
And a cattle prod. If
yeah.
anybody gets through.
It is a smart idea anyway, just in case they end up selling any part of the land at any time, that's something that is an agreement between them.
They're like, let's not give the pond onto the property of the chick who's basically 1 foot out the door on the family here, because that's going to really screw us if we have to sell this piece.
Right, we're never going to get to use this.
We're never going to get this thing back.
I like how during this conversation, again, Janelle is trying to explain it in the most politically correct way she can without throwing Meri under the bus. But you see the dots connect for Christine in this conversation.
Uh-huh.
Without Janelle even having to outright say what she means.
Oh, yeah.
She has realized now that if Meri gets that property, not if any of the rest of them get the property, but if Meri in particular gets that piece of property, they will never, ever get to use that pond.
Nope.
It will be too disruptive to Meri's life to have them walking over there and using the pond.
So that was basically it. There was so much talk about trees in so many different forms in this episode. It's a lot of sunshine, a lot of tree talk, and I feel like it was all subtle jabs at the entire scenario too, but it all kind of tied the episode together very nicely.
The producers are leading up to their best troll of the entire episode, which is in the next segment where the fight continues at Christine's house.
Guys, it takes effort to harbor this much animosity, to keep a fight going for this long and have it carry over. Man, I can't believe that this much tension has carried over.
Right.
It was awkward.
Right.
Waiting.
Everyone else assumes that at this point, everyone has kind of cooled down and been able to take a step back from what happened a few days ago. Not Meri.
No.
Everyone starts arriving at Christine's house, getting ready to have this discussion about what happened at Coyote Pass. And Janelle shows up, Robyn shows up, Meri shows up, and Meri has so much attitude. It's clear from the moment she walks in the door that she has no intention of apologizing to anybody, that she is hell-bent on continuing to make everyone else uncomfortable because she's not happy, and that she is not going to speak to anyone until Kody arrives.
I thought you were going to say when she arrived, she had so much style because she had that She had that shirt on,
can
man.
we talk about this?
Oh, I loved it.
You loved it?
I loved it.
Well,
okay, so there have been...
You loved it because of the particular...
Yeah, because then people were
animal.
saying, oh my God, is dogs and soccer ball shirt? And it's like, well, excuse me, show some respect. Those are not just dogs. Those are corgis, okay? Those are corgis playing soccer on a shirt. Thank you very much.
Well, I think they would say they're playing football.
I guess. But honestly, I used to have a corgi mix.
We don't have to go into
No, I'm just saying, I can attest to they have an affinity for soccer. We could play soccer with our corgi.
Well, I'm glad to know that
He would chase the ball around, he would kick it around.
Was rooted in some type of fact.
Well, he wouldn't really like kick it because his legs were a little short and stumpy, but he would like bite at it and it would roll and he would run around the backyard with it.
So she elevates this outfit by adding a belt. So she belts this t-shirt.
You got accessorized.
With dogs on it. And I liked how she matched, guys, this is so bitchy.
I want to hear it.
I like how she matched her sandals to the orange corgi.
Yes.
She found orange sandals to go with her orange corgi t-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, what better way to patch things up with your sister wife?
It was horrific. She also has the sleeve like turned up, like
oh yeah, the fold.
The folded sleeve. All right, let's move on from that.
Yeah.
So again, it's super tense and uncomfortable.
So it's a standoff in Christine's living room.
Yeah, nobody's really saying anything to anybody.
And Christine's fucking beanbag chair, big fuzzy.
Christine's sitting on this giant covered beanbag. It's so big.
She looks like a 6-year-old. Like her feet don't touch the ground, so she's just like kicking them, swinging above the ground.
It was the best thing to juxtapose the tension in the room with Christine looking ridiculous on that beanbag
just
chair.
Being absorbed into that thing, just consumed.
Now, Meri, breaks the tension by telling Christine that she needs to call Kody.
Well, because she reaches for her phone. Because this is a power move and a half. Kody's at the lawyers. He's meeting with the lawyers. He's on his way there. He texts Meri telling her to tell Christine to call him.
There are so many layers.
There's so many layers.
I would think that when Meri gets a text from Kody, it's rare.
Yes.
So she's getting this text, and maybe she's thinking that he actually is saying something to her.
Like,
but
what?
She opens it up and looks at it, and instead, it's not even meant for her. It's just meant for her to instruct Christine to call him because he knows that Meri is with Christine.
Because, you think normal interaction, why didn't he just text Christine? Maybe Christine didn't have her phone on,
I'm sure
the cameras were there. The
happened.
cameras were there. She had it on silent, something like that.
He couldn't get in touch with her.
But still, that the wives are all there together at Christine. So why wouldn't, if you're going to reach out to why?
I mean, maybe he texted them all and Meri was the only one who looked at it. But I feel like at this point, Meri probably shouldn't be in the family group texts anymore.
I don't know. That was just, oh my God, that one really bothered me.
So
because that's how you're starting this conversation, the reconciliation conversation. That's how you're going to kick this off.
He and Meri don't plan on apologizing to each other.
Oh my God, yeah. Because then Kody comes whipping in, just busting through the door, like he just got out of a 40-year prison sentence or something.
Well, he's dressed like the Wolf of Wall Street because he's in here with his best suit on after he's gone to the lawyer.
He's got to look legit.
Okay, I'm sorry. Anybody who watches 90 Day Fiancé, we've seen plenty of people go to the lawyer.
I really wish we would have had cameras for the lawyer conversation.
Me too. Can you imagine the type of person that they dug up? TLC does not find the cream of the crop in terms of lawyers, guys.
Well, no, so I think that's proof that, any of the lawyer scenes on 90 Day Fiancé are complete bullshit. It's always somebody from, production or a producer who sits in and basically reads lines of what the lawyer said to the person, because clearly Kody went to meet with lawyers, and I'm sure they were like,
this
no
one
cameras.
said no cameras.
Yeah, no cameras.
Well, and also he wore his Sunday best. And,
right.
We're used to seeing people wear, a tank top and jeans if we're lucky to the lawyer on 90 Day
Fiancé. Like the teen mom Janelle meeting up with her lawyer at a restaurant.
I have these feathers in my hair.
Getting, pushing back your court date for a Kesha concert. You think that's why Kody was so excited? Was they pushed back his court date for the Kesha concert?
So we digress. So Kody has excellent news after coming from the lawyer, because the lawyer just told him that they are sitting on a mountain of cash and that
gold mine.
All they need to do is get rich quick by either not building a goddamn thing on that piece of land out on Coyote Pass or making income properties a thing.
And Robyn's immediately off put by this. She's like,
oh, she's so upset.
He's talking like a businessman.
I don't understand anything he's talking about.
Kody is essentially just missing a top hat and a cane and a monocle, and he's like so close to being the Monopoly guy, it's not even funny.
Maybe that's when Robyn will understand. This is how it works, Robyn. You buy property, and then we're going to take
the little
greenhouses, and we're going to put them on top.
When you build 4 of those, you get to build a hotel, and then it's an income property.
That's what we're going to do on Coyote Pass.
That's what's going to happen. We're talking income property now, Robyn. We're talking profit.
But she's very upset that Kody broke his promise. She's very, very serious when people make a promise, pinky promise.
Yeah.
She's upset that he's breaking that because they made promises to their kids about the fact that we ripped this family apart. We're going to force you to live in a house that you hate, that you're going to have to pack your shit up from and move to another one in another couple of months. But at some point, we're going to all be a family together again. But never mind, because we'd rather be rich.
Well, and Christine's jumping in on this too. She's like, I would prefer to live on the land at some point, because that was our original goal with this, right? So Kody's seeing dollar signs at this point, which has him relieved because it's the first time he's seen that in years. A positive number in the bank account.
Janelle brings up the park idea again during this conversation. So, she's again advocating for making a park. She's just trying to get that out there before they start to assign lots.
Taking the proper legal steps to ensure everyone has access to the shared features of the property.
This irritated me. Robyn gets on her high horse and apologizes for the way she acted at Coyote Pass before anyone else can start speaking about what happened.
It's not even a casual point in the conversation or like a lull in the conversation.
No.
She has to interject.
It's like
before we get started.
An announcement of where she stands with things.
Before we get too far into this.
The reason I take issue with this is because while everybody sat in that amassing tension while we waited for Kody to show up.
While Christine was sinking into her beanbag chair.
Right. As the tension was pushing Christine further and further into the beanbag chair. You would think that if Robyn planned on apologizing, she would have said, and I understand that maybe she wanted to apologize to Kody too, but she could have apologized to Meri right there and said, hey, Meri, before we get started here, before Kody shows up, I just want to apologize to you and make sure there's
to clear the air.
No negative feelings about what happened the other day. It was a miscommunication.
Right.
But she waits until she has Kody as a witness to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
The fight now only continues.
Oh my God.
From what we saw on Coyote Pass.
Yeah.
Everyone's just arguing again about who got first pick, who got last pick, trees, sunlight. Now the producers troll Meri as she's talking about how dark the trees make her home and how, she's living in a dungeon and it's so depressing. And we get like a shot of the house on probably the most beautiful day that they've had.
So much sun.
They like checked the weather forecast. They made sure that there was not going to be a cloud in the sky.
And all of the sun was beaming into, it was the entire
reflecting
part of the wall.
Off of every window
it's
in
all
that
windows
house.
On that side of the house. So it's like there's light going in there. But at nighttime, you think about it, she's got 18 bedrooms in this place. So it's like, if you're the only person in that house, it's going to be dark and really depressing in there.
Meri,
it's
you have one light on in the entire house. It's like a 5,000 square foot house. You have 2 master bedrooms. It's going to be fucking dark. There's no one else in there with you.
It's going to feel empty. And it should, because it is. It is vacant.
Maybe that's a reason why you should rent like a 1 or 2 bedroom place where, you're in one room and maybe you leave a little light on in the other room. You walk from one room to the next
It carries over.
It carries over. There's lights.
There's some spill.
Not in this. There's some spillage.
Yeah.
Not in this big house.
She needs to get some renting advice.
Like, I can't see anything in my wet bar.
I can't find any of my clothes.
It's so dark. I can't make out the bottles under here.
This is why I wore this stupid corgi shirt to this meeting. I couldn't see anything in my closet. And I just pulled something out, and it turns out I look like an idiot.
Meri got dressed in the dark. It's so dark in her rental that she did not know what she put on.
You guys made me look like an idiot.
She didn't even see the corgi pattern on that shirt. She thought she had a solid color shirt on.
She thought it was plaid, large polka dots of some kind. Oh, no, those are soccer balls. Damn it.
Then she got out in the sunlight, and she was like, oh fuck, it's too late. I already got to leave.
Oh, shit. But no, she needs to get some rental advice from Janelle. Because what the hell is Janelle moving into? We saw before she went on her walk with Christine. How did she downgrade again? That kitchen was terrible.
The kitchen was horrific.
So bad. It's smaller than the other one that she had.
One of the reasons also why it was horrific. The washer and dryer are bigger than any of the appliances that came with the house in the actual kitchen.
And it's in the kitchen.
And they're in the kitchen.
It's in there.
Guys, Janelle couldn't find a rental in Flagstaff, so she had to fly all the way to Europe.
This is the most, it's an American complaint, and I can 100% get behind it, because I know this is very common for European countries to have washers and dryers
but
they
don't have
kitchen.
Washers and dryers that are that big.
They don't have them that big.
They're
and
like
usually,
almost the size of refrigerators.
And it's usually one unit. It's a washer and a dryer.
Right.
It does the same thing, which is cool. It's awesome in theory. I know that, but I can't get behind washer dryer in the kitchen. It's very strange to me.
The whole house looks like it hasn't been updated since like 1982. So
yeah, so Meri needs to take a couple lessons on Janelle. Check your privilege. Where's your washer and dryer? Then you can complain.
Maybe prioritize windows over square footage.
Right. Pay for some landscaping to come trim some of the trees.
Now, this is where things get really toxic.
So this is where the conversation takes a turn.
Meri is trying to explain her side of things and defend herself and what happened. And Kody is giving her the floor to do that, but he is going to stare her down the entire time she's talking. He gives her a death stare.
I will admit this. Okay, so Kody handling things out on the property for that first fight, horrible. He lost his shit. And he flew off the handle. Most of it was when Meri wasn't there, but obviously he totally went off the rails. So I have to say I was impressed with Kody's reaction initially at this reconciliation at Christine's living room. He was speaking very calmly, speaking very directly, making sure that things were being communicated properly and saying, interpreting things and making sure that everybody understood. It was almost like it wasn't Kody talking. It was very strange.
Until he starts staring at her, trying to intimidate her.
That was where, that is unforgivable. He's glaring at her while she's trying to speak to him, because then she immediately calls him out. I'm having a lot of trouble with the look that you're giving me right now. And he just deflects it away. I'm just trying to understand.
Right. It gets to the point where Christine has to mediate that between them and says, It's okay. Don't look at him. Look at me then. Don't look at him.
That's not the solution.
No.
The solution would be, Kody, get that look off your face.
Right. Stop being childish.
Stop
this is ridiculous.
Doing that. But nobody can call him out on anything. So Meri has to deal with that. So there's that level too, which again, not good. It was starting off where I was like, wow, we might actually get somewhere with this conversation. This is actually going pretty well. And then that was where it really started to fall apart.
Yeah, so they just continue to bicker, basically. We just recap everything that everyone had to say on Coyote Pass. Nobody actually comes to any type of conclusion.
Meri feels like the whole reason for this conversation was to just kick her in the gut.
She feels like she's being attacked, which again, Meri has to be the victim anyway. But maybe it would help to not feel attacked if your husband had a conversation with you one-on-one rather than in front of the entire family. Or if he started the conversation by apologizing and you all apologize to each other rather than just Robyn making an apology.
Because Kody was very vocal and openly shitty in his aside interview that Robyn was the only one who apologized during this meeting.
You didn't apologize either, dude.
You didn't apologize either, man. Yeah, he's like, it was supposed to be a dig at Meri, but it's like...
Right. You didn't apologize, and you just escalated it more.
Yeah, you're calling yourself out.
So basically, nothing's going to get resolved if everyone's just going to give each other nasty looks and speak rudely towards each other again. And that's kind of where things net out. Janelle tells us, like, everyone is still at the point where they're angry and they're just trying to make their points. And we're not really coming to any type of compromise or conclusion here. So this is, I guess, to be continued.
So, yeah, they decide to wrap this all up and tie it all up with family prayer. What is it, a huddle?
They suddenly remember that they're religious again, despite the fact that they've...
Yeah, somebody's alarm went off on their phone and they were like, hey.
Oh, damn, we're Mormons.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Maybe we should pray about it.
Let's huddle up.
Guys, we are not going to be able to talk this out ourselves, so let's pray about it. Leave it in Jesus' hands.
So they polish it off with a family prayer circle jerk. Okay. And it's... And that's what polygamy's all about.
Everyone leaves as quickly as, well, Meri leaves as quickly as possible.
Meri burned a hole in the floor. She burned rubber tearing out of that house.
She's got places to be. She's got to go home. She's got to change. She didn't realize what she's wearing.
She's got to iron the fold up parts of her sleeves.
Yeah, she just dug. This was on the ground. She just picked it up and put it on.
But that was pretty much it. That was the whole episode.
Yeah. We got here. That was the end of the fight. I'm sure we'll see more of it. And we see another fight in the preview for next week in which Kody and Robyn fight over what God is telling them.
Ooh, I am open to interpretations. I'm gonna be off the charts next week with analysis. This is gonna be great.
So it looks like not only do they fight about whether they should buy a house, continue to rent, this fight causes... Is it Aurora? I don't know.
Aurora Borealis has a full-on meltdown. She has a panic attack, and she needs to be forcibly removed from the living room situation.
By Kody, like a baby.
God.
So we'll see how that unfolds. At least these episodes are getting more exciting.
Yeah, I'm just glad that the Biggie Housie's dead.
Yes. We don't want to see any more blueprints.
Until like the last episode he's going
to... It'll come back again.
Come out of nowhere.
Thank you for listening. If you want to support us, the best way to do that is by subscribing to the podcast and by leaving a review on iTunes.
You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and Podbean.
Follow us on Twitter at surviving_pod, where we live tweet along with the weekly episode.
And thank you so much to you, our listeners.
Thank you for all the love that you guys have been leaving for us on iTunes.
I'm just so glad that there are other survivors out there. We're not alone. You're not alone either. So we'll all get through this together.
Stay tuned, share with friends. See you next week.
To get people excited about Boost Mobile's new nationwide 5G network, we're offering unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month.
Forever.
Even if you have a baby.
Even if your baby has a baby.
Even if you grow old and wrinkly and you start repeating yourself.
Even if you start repeating yourself.
Even if you're on your deathbed and you need to make one last call.
Or text.
Right, or text. The long-lost son you abandoned at birth.
You'll still get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile.
Forever!
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Forever.